I already know. I already know.
What are you laughing at? Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all.
I think he was laughing at us.
You know something? You're a bright little lamp.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Hey.
You guys have an attachment for that kid, don't you? Yes, he was our master. That's real nice. Any day he might come romping back, just come whistling back through that door, and everything will be the same, real peachy keen. Uh-huh. It's a possibility. Well, at least we try to be optimistic. Optimistic? Somebody untie the knot in this guy's cord.
Hey, why don't you shut up?
I'm real scared, Kirby. Are you gonna suck me to death? What is it with you?
Whoa.
You act like you just came off the assembly line. Get this through your chrome. We've been dumped. Abandoned. But he loved us. That's right. So what? He has a family. They move, he moves. It's a package deal. But he's not coming back. Pure and simple. Did you talk to them? They could drive up any second. You really think so? I'm not talking to you. You have a combined wattage of 5, maybe less. It's been years. It's scrap metal time. Do what you like. We're not giving up hope. That's real touching. You're gonna get me bawling like a baby any time now. I think you're jealous. Sure, I'm jealous of a bunch of dimwits.
Dim?
Yeah, the master never played with you because
you're stuck in a wall.
So it's back to that stupid static again. You think I don't know what's going on in here? I know what goes on in this cottage. It's a conspiracy. And every one of you low watts is in on it. Just because you move around, you think you're better than I am. I was designed to stick in a wall. I like being stuck in this stupid wall. I can't help it. If the kid was too short to reach my dials, we didn't mean it. Really, it's my function. Don't wait. He's gonna blow! Yank the cord! The fuse! Poor air conditioner. I didn't know you'd take it so hard.
He was a jerk anyways.
He was a jerk anyway.
What on earth? Okay, I'm gonna take a guess,
gosh.
and
So
I feel like
good,
this is a
dude.
very educated guess, but I'm gonna guess that this is the Brave Little Toaster.
This is from the Brave Little Toaster.
Oh my gosh! Without any
Phil
context, some
Hartman,
of those
rest in
lines,
peace.
No. Some of those lines without context is like, what are you talking about? That sounds
It's
very.
a conspiracy.
That sounds very not for children.
None of that movie is really for children. None
They're
of it.
sending like these cars to the. Is that where they send the cars to the junkyard and they're singing the song of like dying?
Once took a Texan to a wedding. Once took a Texan to a wedding.
Yeah. What company made that film?
That was,
Disney.
and it was Joe Rampt. Joe Rampt, one of the heads of Pixar.
Oh
You know,
my
you can see
gosh.
Pixar's fingertips all in that movie. Like,
The lamb.
truly.
Because of like having the what is that called when you
Like in,
personified?
Inanimate objects that have personalities.
Right.
But even like that, some of the comedy in that is straight Pixar. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that was a very interesting quote. I'm glad that we got a little duo action going on that one with Brian and Katie. But anyways, welcome to yet another episode of Bump That episode 47. If you do not know who we are, I've got Brian in this corner.
You're worthless.
I've got Kate T in this corner.
Baby, I'm coming. Oh.
and, and I am your host, Ileana, and we are siblings who have an affinity of nerdy things and decided to record ourselves and put it up on the internet. And here you are listening to it. So,
We're subjecting you
welcome.
to it, really.
I mean, hey, they clicked on it. They're here for on their own volition, you know. And they're here for some entertainment. We have entertaining episodes, I think. We had Joanna on last episode. If you didn't watch that one, that is Brian's wife. Go check out that episode. That was probably one of my favorite episodes we've had.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, well, you're done. Anyways, we've got a show for you guys today, so we're going to be going over our giveaway in a moment. We've also got some news. We've got 3 news article things to go over. And then instead of having an individual segment for each of us today, we're going to be going over what we did for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was last week, and we all were together as a family in Katie and I's home state of Georgia. So we had Brian and his family here, and we'll just talk about what we did while they were here. And then the chunk today is going to be movies that everyone hates but you love. So we'll each have 3 movies. Brian will have 3, KD will have 3, and I'll have 3 movies that mostly everybody hates or has some issue with, but that we're like, yes, A+, great movie, along with their Rotten Tomato scores. So go ahead and jumping into the giveaway. KD, give us some info.
All right. Hey, guys. Are you a fan of all things nerdy like us? Because we like nerdy things. And so here's your chance to acquire some very nerdy things for free. And if you do not like nerdy things because you are a sensible person, then maybe you can acquire these items for the nerd in your life, or the more fun and colorful person in your life.
Ooh,
So,
you just got called boring.
I am.
No, not.
I am.
Yeah,
Oh,
calling
wait.
the non-nerdy people boring.
Oh, yes. But anyway, so we have some very cool merch for you. We have a very, very cool Appa plushie for you from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I actually have this plushie. I have the exact same one. It is very, very choice, very cool. Then you have some handmade, custom, chef's kiss stickers from our very own artist, Ileana, over here from Bump That Studios.
Mm-hmm.
She slaved over these stickers, putting her blood and sweat, or, just her creativity into these stickers, and they are very, very cool. Are they water resistant or no?
Oh, absolutely water resistant.
They are water resistant, so there's that. We also have a wonderful $10 Nintendo eShop gift card. We also have one more item. I just dug it up from the recesses of my nerddom place, which is my office. And I have a very cool Mario beanie, which is also reversible, in which you have Mario on one side and Luigi on the other. It's just the emblem. Very cool to keep you warm this winter. So all you have to do is very simple. You don't have to do much of anything. Just leave a comment in any of our videos starting on episode 41 up until our most recent episode, which will probably be 47 or 48.
This one's 47 currently.
Yeah, so 48. So any episode between 41 and 48, while you're there, why don't you subscribe to us? Because, we're not so bad. We're not so bad.
And you know you want to. Don't quit lying to yourself.
Yeah, we're kind of entertaining. So, and it's a big help to us. So, leave a comment. Or I have, if you are a friend of mine on Facebook, which I know a lot of you actually are, not trying to be whatever or anything, but leave a comment on any of my polls, and those polls are going to make it into an upcoming episode of Bump That, in which you'll get a shout out, and we'll be able to talk about different things here and there. So, one of two things. Leave a comment on episodes 41 through 48, just one of those videos, just need one. Or leave a comment on any of my polls on Facebook. It's KT Ash. You'll see a picture of me and my husband. and we'll go from there. And you can enter to win a Bump That prize pack. It is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's so little to just leave a comment to get all of those amazing things. And when we do announce the winner, I think that'll be on December 11th. Will be the last day, right?
It'll be the last day to enter, and then after that, the next episode that we do, we'll declare a winner.
Right. Okay. So, we'll declare the winner, and then we'll contact that person, get your mailing information, send it out to you, and boom! All you did was submit a comment, and now you have free stuff. So, congratulations. So, really, if you just want to get some free stuff, put your name in. Put your name in. Leave a comment. Put your name in. You know you want it. That Appa plushie is calling to you. No one's looking.
No one's looking.
We'll just see your comment, and so will the rest of the world. But really, you want this stuff. All right. And on with that, we're into the news. Are we still doing the Spielberg? I can't remember what we took out and what we kept.
Yeah.
Okay, so West Side Story by now being a film by Spielberg has been positive. That's good. Many calling it a top-tier Spielberg and praising the visuals. So that's early reviews. That has not come out yet, though, in theaters, correct?
No, that's going to be coming out soon. The critics have gotten a chance to view the film, and pretty much the reviews have been positive. They're saying it's top-tier Spielberg with, his classic, beautiful, wow cinematography, and, it's a musical, so lots of singing and dancing. But you can't go wrong with Spielberg. He's barely let you down.
Has he done other musicals? I can't really think of.
No, this is his first one, and
Really?
he's been wanting to do a musical for so long. So,
Okay.
Even though it's a remake of the classic Best Picture one that we all saw in junior high, it's gonna be a good movie.
All right, well, good for him. I'm glad that it's already getting positive reviews. I don't really know too many people that would be raving about it, though. Like, in my age group, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know too many people who are like, yes, West Side Story is my thing. But maybe
Theater geeks will,
And maybe that's it. I'm not around too many theater
grandmas and grandpas that maybe remember the original, the Stephen Sondheim West Side Story.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
He just passed away.
Yes.
He literally just
And then
passed away.
I guess just like Spielberg fans will want to go see more of his work. Well, that's good. Good news for him. Moving on, we've got Spider-Man No Way From Home pre-sales are biggest since Endgame. I'm actually surprised by that. Huh. Speaking of Spider-Man, Tom Holland. It's always Tom Holland. Why does he always somehow make it into our episodes?
Tom Holland every week.
Tom
Every
Holland
week.
will continue as Spider-Man for another 3-movie trilogy. My gosh, we will have to continue talking about Tom Holland.
Look, yeah, he's a very likable guy. Maybe we'll see. I mean, we'll see how Uncharted does, and if that gets in the way, if they make more Uncharted films. But hey, man, that kid's got he's gonna make $20 million each for the next Spider-Man. They're gonna pay him $100 million. There's just too much money in Spider-Man to not let this thing go.
There have been some rumors that they're gonna kind of merge the multiverse in the upcoming movies and have Andrew Garfield and what's his name? Tobey Maguire. Do you think that's gonna happen?
That's the big rumor for this upcoming movie. That's why people are like, we want to see all the Spider-Mans together. That's the deal. So
bring in Miles Morales, please. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Am I the only one excited about that? I'm not even a huge Spider-Man fan. Let's be honest. I really am not. The only thing I liked about
you are not a Spider-Man fan.
The only Spider-Man
Everybody
movie
and
that
their grandma loves Spider-Man.
I just don't care. I guess I don't know. The only Spider-Man movie that I was like, yes, I'm all in for. This is the greatest thing. Was Spider-Verse, and that was because it was animated beautifully. I didn't see Homecoming, and I saw Far From Home, and I was like, oh, it's okay. So. We'll see. I don't really have any opinions going into this new one. But if they start making a multiverse type of thing, because they've been doing that in the shows on Disney Plus, if you've been noticing, they've been talking about like the variants and whatever. That'd be kind of interesting if they decide to just explode the universe and make it multiverse.
No, apparently, I mean, there's been lots of rumors. Have you even seen the trailers? They have Doc Ock in there. They've got the Green Goblin. They got Jamie Foxx's Electro.
I have not seen the trailers.
Well, what the heck, man? You got to keep up on this stuff. This is Bump That. Bump That is supposed to be there all the time for you guys.
Is Katie caught up on it either? Did you see the new Spider-Man trailer?
I think I did. I honestly
Come on, guys. We're Bump That. We got to be better than this. We got to be watching this stuff, man.
I was too busy paying attention to Encanto, but I have yet to see it.
I was too busy enjoying my family. And also being sick. I'm recovering.
Actually, I'm gonna go see Encanto Saturday. So I'll check that out.
Encanto? Oh my gosh.
That's how it's ENCANTO.
Encanto.
So Encanto. What, is there like some sort of accent in that word or something that I'm not knowing?
I mean,
was it supposed to be? You're saying I need to say it like this? Encanto.
Encanto.
How does your boyfriend Lin-Manuel Miranda say it?
Encanto.
I don't even know how we would say it. Is he behind this one as well?
Yeah.
The music of Lin-Manuel.
Of course
Miranda.
he is. So we've got these are the ones that we're constantly talking about, I feel like. Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and who was the other one? There's one more. Ah, there's one more that always gets us in there.
Another white dude, the other white guy, Tom Hardy.
No, ooh, he's my boyfriend. He's my other boyfriend. Meow.
And then we'll just throw Seth Rogen in there.
All right, so moving
moving on.
And then the fourth news, we had the fourth news item. So friggin' Lucasfilm, once upon a time, Lucasfilm had this whole idea to be like the MCU and make all these different kinds of movies with all these different Star Wars characters, and it was going to be great. It was going to be paradise. We had The Mandalorian, and that worked out, and there was going to be Cara Dune was going to get her own show. Patty Jenkins was going to get a Rogue Squadron movie. We got Ahsoka coming out. We got Obi-Wan coming out. And then the Game of Thrones guys, Weiss and Benioff, they were gonna have their own trilogy. Rian Johnson, the guy from Last Jedi, was gonna have his own trilogy too. Multiple Star Wars trilogies going on. Then all of a sudden, Lucasfilm's like, whoa, hold the phone. Patty Jenkins, we're not gonna do Rogue Squadron. Get that out of town. Even though I was really excited for that because I love X-Wings and space battles, all that stuff. So Lucasfilm's like, no more Rogue Squadron. Then Rian Johnson, here's the thing. Last Jedi didn't work because Rian Johnson went off on his own crazy tangent with those characters. But the movie isn't bad. If it had just been his own thing that he wanted to do, maybe it would have worked, right? But apparently Rian Johnson doesn't have his own trilogy anymore. Weiss and Benioff, they don't have... So, I don't know. What is Lucasfilm doing, man? Help me out here, somebody.
I cannot. I'm kind of bummed about a Cara Dune thing getting canceled because I am looking at my Funko Pop and just going, what could have been?
Do you know, is that character going to get recast?
I hope so. It was an awesome character. It's a shame that the actress, is just gone.
She's not gone.
We know what happened to her.
Well, I like her. I very much like her. It's too bad that she's not able to continue, and I hope that they can patch things up. Just sort of like bury the hatchet and move on. She was an awesome character. Like fit the role so nicely. And I know it's a weird thing, but it was finally somebody that I could look up to, as far as like body builds, because you don't have a lot of representation of like these buff chicks.
Does that
going
really
out
mean
and
a lot
kicking.
to you?
It
Representation?
truly does. It absolutely, truly
Wow.
does. Which may sound really dumb, but you have
No,
like when
I
it
don't
comes
think so at
to
all. When you have a not as common physique for a woman, and you see that like awesome chick on a TV show that you're
just
like
kicking
rooting for,
butt,
kicking butt, you're like, and
yeah,
everybody wants to be like that. It's awesome that you can see, hey, have this same body type, and she's out there doing those things. It makes me feel like I could do those things as well.
yeah. I'm not gonna be like a Captain Marvel or I'm not gonna be like Wonder Woman, but daggum, I could aspire to be Cara Dune. I could put myself in that sort of thing and use my imagination, and she was so cool. She was just a cool character. Even if you eliminate my own imagination from it, she was just a very, very cool character. Just walking around like the freaking sheriff of a town and just being like, what you need, I got you,
Mm.
let's go take out these dudes. And that's way cool, way, way cool. So it's just a bummer that she's out of the picture now.
Yeah, so I hope they recast her character somehow, or somehow patch it up with the actress, because she really was fitting for that character. It just
Yeah.
seemed right. So if they decide to go with a different actress, I would hope that they kind of went with the same route, that they found a woman. She was an MMA fighter or something like that, right?
Yeah, yes, she
Yeah,
does. I
so
was
she
just about
had
to say
like
that.
crazy muscles. So they've got to find
Yeah.
somebody who can, fit that same part again. You can't get somebody that's like skinny, agile. That's not the same character as like a hulky, bulky lady that's going to break you like a toothpick.
What I aspire to be.
My
I'm the
hulky
toothpick.
bulky wife? What?
What?
You
No
said
one
that. You
said
said hulky bulky.
Hulky,
yes,
bulky,
but
yeah.
not wife.
Or that's what it sounded like. But I was like, don't break my heart, my hulky bulky heart.
No, I say that because
bulky
like,
heart.
you look at Katie and Katie's the hulky, bulky, like, I'm going to break you like a toothpick.
Dang!
I mean, it's true.
No, it
Whoa!
is. We both agree to this. She throws me over her shoulder like a piece of paper.
I picked up Mom the other day and carried her
Katie's
around.
hulky bulky.
It's
It's
not
true.
like it's muscle and it's like strength that I am sorely lacking. So for me, I can look at that character, and while do not have the same body type, I'm like, that woman is too cool for school.
Mhm.
And there's no other woman my size that looks like that, like, could wrestle a bear. A woman my size
that'd
can
cool.
be thrown into the wind and just so
I could put you on a flagpole and like
exactly
we'd salute you.
I'm flapping in the wind while this girl's out there beating a bear. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That is too cool for school. So there's that. All right, we got to move on. That is a shame though for Rogue Squadron, but
Yeah.
let's see what. I mean, they're just gonna keep popping out stuff anyways. So, Lucasfilm. So
I don't know, man.
We'll see.
I don't know.
who knows when they're gonna stop. Anyways, we're gonna briefly talk about the Game Awards this week, because next week I'm sure we have a lot more to talk about as it gets closer to
yes.
the nominations. So, Game Awards, those are happening, and no one cares. Do you know what I mean?
Now, I will say, we've got some select prime listeners. You guys are the cream of the crop. And you have been sending me messages and commenting here and there that we are just out of our minds, don't know anything about these nominees as far as Game of the Year goes. And I would say, yes, you're absolutely right. Because I've not heard nor played a lot of these. Well, I say
No, I'm in
not
the
heard
same
of.
boat.
I have heard of a lot of these, but I definitely have not played any but one of these. For game Metro, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. If I had to guess, I would say the winner is probably going to be either Ratchet and Clank or Resident Evil. Resident Evil probably has the best chance because of its popularity. That doesn't take. I don't mean to say that to take away from any of the other nominees, especially Deathloop or It Takes Two, because I've heard nothing but good things about these two games.
That's the thing. I haven't heard of these games before.
Yes,
And I follow game news too, and I haven't seen a single person playing them that like, plays big name games or any game commenter talking about them. I just feel like it's a shame. I just have no idea. And like to have Ratchet and Clank going up against Resident Evil is also just very opposite end, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But, what's a little weird is that we've got 30 categories to vote on.
How many did we have last year? Do you know?
I can't remember.
It was a lot last year too.
Yeah, I'll just spitball these. Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Score and Music, Best Audio Design, Best Performance, Games for Impact, Best Ongoing, Best Indie, Best Mobile Game, Best Community Support, I don't know what that means, Innovation and Accessibility, Best VR/AR, Best Action Game, Best Action/Adventure Game, which is strange, Best Role Playing, Best Fighting, Best Family, Best Sim/Strategy, Best Sports/Racing, Best Multiplayer, Content Creator of the Year, Best Debut Indie, Most Anticipated Game, Best Esports, Best Esports Athlete, Best Esports Team, Best Esports Coach, Best Esports Event. That is 30 categories, and a good chunk of that, let's see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regarding esports. You've got 2 that are very similar, action game and action/adventure. There's just a lot. There's a lot to process, and
what was the one about community?
Best community support, and
yeah, so that's like a game that it wouldn't necessarily be doing well if it was just like thrown on the eShop, but people randomly found it and they were like kind of like Among Us, where
it's defined as recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates/patches.
Yeah, so that would be a game like Among Us or Fall Guys that we had last year, where it just like blew up on the internet and everyone was playing it, everyone was supporting these games, and they were getting updates that they needed to fix bugs. And it was just a community-wide online game that everybody loves. So I don't know what kind of game this year would be for that though.
For this community support, you've got Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14 Online, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky.
Damn, those are like old games. How are they still being nominated?
Keep going, especially like Destiny 2. And
that's like
Fortnite.
5-6 years old, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I know people that are still playing Apex Legends, so I get that one. But right, like you said, none of those games are new.
Yeah, so I don't know. Now, what Brian and I were talking about before we started recording is that while not a lot is, being talked about this year, get ready for next year. And we were also talking about announcements, because this is also where the Game Awards it really shines, is announcements and premieres. I am ready to see a lot, and I think next year as well, 2022 and 2023 are going to be very critical games for video games. As far it's going to be heavy hitters.
Cyberpunk 2.
Oh geez, Louise.
Oh geez,
it's going to be heavy hitters for all 3 major consoles. PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo.
Could you imagine if we saw the Switch Pro?
I doubt
the
it.
Switch Pro is not gonna be one, man.
It's not gonna come out because we just had the Switch OLED, and the Switch OLED is selling pretty well.
But that would be so cool right before the holiday season. I would literally blow up.
It's the holiday season. Holiday season. So dickery-doo.
Okay, so
and
maybe
suck
not
my
shoe.
He'll be coming down the chimney now. He'll be coming down the chimney now.
Woo!
You got an old.
Oh my gosh!
Say hello to my and good old Saint Nick.
I just had a Oh my god! I just had like 6 white hairs pop into my skull. Okay,
they all popped in your head.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
well,
so
even maybe if it wasn't the Switch Pro, I'm just thinking
The
like
Switch
all the
Mega.
oh. I don't think I like that one.
no.
Listen, get off the Switch, man.
No,
Switch
I'm thinking about the games
is
that are going to be
a
holiday
children's toy now.
holiday titles that they
No, it's
haven't
not.
announced yet. Okay, think about the PlayStation. They hardly have any games right now available.
It's true.
So if they had a game that they just dropped right there that would like coming this holiday season 2021, I doubt it, but that would be so cool. I don't know why they just don't like, drop a ball like that. Cuz they would it would sell.
I just don't know. I think
it would sell though. Often, like if it was a game anticipated, so it's already been, everybody wants this game. Say it's another Metroid game or whatever. But you just have this anticipated game, and then it drops at the Game Award or something.
What is an anticipated game? Say one.
Breath
there
of the
are
Wild.
a new Donkey Kong 3D game.
Is
Yeah,
that? I mean, is
open
that
world Donkey
even?
Kong.
Legend of Zelda? If they
Is
just dropped
there
the date on
even
that one?
any rumors about that? Anything
there
that's
is.
tangible that you
Yes,
can
there
like,
is. Yes, there is. There's been this whole entire.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, what's
I'm
out
telling
there?
you, I'm answering. For Donkey Kong, in which we've talked about this before, there have been rumors circulating that there is either a 2D platform coming out or an open world Donkey Kong.
But those are
and
just
that-
rumors.
this-
Where's
No,
like
listen.
evidence?
Because if you look at the studios, Retro Studios has been expanding and working on something. When we got Metroid Dread, it was kind of a toss-up. What is going to come out? Either Metroid Dread, which we didn't know the title at the time, or is it going to be a Donkey Kong? And it was Metroid. So there's still more rumor that and I read this week that with the Super Mario movie coming out, there's going to be a Donkey Kong spin-off movie, and there may be a tie-in game.
That'd be awesome.
So that's what
I chuckled to myself because Seth Rogen is voicing Donkey Kong. Could you imagine Seth Rogen voicing a Donkey Kong video game? Him going, oh yeah.
So would that spin-off Donkey Kong game, would it be like a legit Nintendo quality game, or would it just be like any other
SpongeBob
ridiculous
games?
movie
Oh boy.
tie-in junk? Because you're like, oh, I really want a Donkey Kong, but you're asking for something that might end up being like worse than you could possibly imagine. Like a nightmare instead of a dream
it's a
come
possibility, and yet that's what we're looking at. There are no answers.
Okay.
Optimistic.
here's another
Somebody
one.
ought to clean up this guy's cord.
Here's another one is Super Mario Odyssey 2 that people have been talking about that we don't know if it's going to come. It's been 3 years now. 4? We're on the 4th year?
4. It's been
4 years since the last game came out. So there's that. Splatoon doesn't have a date yet, does it? Splatoon 3?
Next year? Let me verify that.
We could get another trailer drop of that one.
Yeah, we also have more Bayonetta news, like more trailers for that. Splatoon 3.
And not even just Nintendo. Okay, that's just one company. Yeah. You've also got the new God of War game. You have the new Horizon Zero Dawn game. I can't think of another one. Oh my gosh. I just thought of something. What if they made a new Bioshock game? That'd be so cool.
In fact, it's so funny that you mentioned that, because this week, in fact, 2 days ago, I heard something about Bioshock 4 logo leak.
Boom! There we go.
Yeah, so
and I was literally just
right
spitballing. So
I have it right here. This is from MP First. This is just an article that I pulled up. I'm just gonna quickly read through this. With the Game Awards fast approaching, rumors have been heating up regarding the next Bioshock entry, with an alleged Bioshock 4 logo surfacing along with details. It's been 9 years since the last entry in the critically acclaimed franchise, so what do we know? The first official confirmation of a new Bioshock entry in development was in December 2019, so 2 years ago. After months of rumors, 2K Games announced the creation of a new Canada-based studio called Cloud Chamber and confirmed that they were working on a new Bioshock title. So, new Bioshock title. According to the press release, work on the next iteration of Bioshock would continue, quote, for the next several years, end quote. 2K Games also confirmed the series' original creative director, Ken Levine, would not be involved in the title. Blah, 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 blah. While information on the game has been relatively minimal since then, job listings by Cloud Chamber have given us some potential clues. Listing on the official Cloud Chamber website suggests that the game will potentially run on Unreal Engine 5 and feature open-world elements. One listing also suggests the game will feature complex, quote, urban crowd systems. So, end quote. So you probably have some online stuff, online play as well. So there you go.
Ooh.
Bioshock 4. If I had to guess, if they decided to make an announcement, it would come out maybe 23 or 24.
Wow. All right.
23, 24.
Which is a wait, but like you said when we were talking about
they could literally just drop the title and that be it. They wouldn't even have to announce anything else. They wouldn't have to show gameplay. They could literally just drop the title and then coming soon, boom, that's already enough news right there.
It worked for Bayonetta 3. That hype was there for years. In fact, it's still there for Metroid Prime 4. It is absolutely there for Metroid Prime 4. So it would work.
So there are a lot of games coming to be announced in hopes of, that they are still being made. I know 2020 kind of put a damper on game creation, but we'll see. So I think maybe while it's lacking in the Game Award nominees this year, because it was just kind of bland this year, and that's just my own personal opinion. You all could be thinking, oh no, but this was a great year for gaming. I didn't really... I didn't get drawn to anything like I did last year in gaming. So hopefully they'll drop some good games to be announced for next year, or titles that are coming in the future. So that'll be something worth watching the Game Awards for this year, I believe.
I think so. And by the way, the Game Awards is on a weird day because,
it was on a Sunday last year, wasn't it?
Well, no, I think it was during a weekday. In fact, the Game Awards this year are going to be December 9th, which is a Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess they don't believe in, working the next day, waking up early and working the next day. I just don't know.
Cyberpunk 2, it's coming.
I just don't know.
No, they just had news about Cyberpunk that they're going to keep working on the expansion for the original game.
Cyberpunk 3000.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, all right, that is it for the news segment. We took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it was good. Good news segment. We're going to shortly take a break into talking about our Thanksgiving and what we did, and then we'll jump right back into the chunk. So, Thanksgiving, we all spent together. Brian and his family came down on a lovely Sunday. No, Saturday. Sunday.
Saturday.
It was a Sunday.
Sunday.
Last Sunday. And they brought the kiddos, their two little girlies with them, and we went to Ruby Falls on Monday. So we went to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and also the aquarium in Chattanooga, and they just had a blast. So much fun. We sat at a pizza diner for an hour while this one woman, God bless her, she was working the restaurant alone as a waitress, bussing all of these tables by herself, and people are just walking out. We're waiting. We're giving her, as much time. We're being nice, but people are being rude, and what a time that was. But we scarfed down that pizza in less than 10 minutes, and that was pretty impressive. We had 2 large pizzas, and it was just gone. They didn't get plates. We got styrofoam cups. We used napkins to hold. Brian, did you even get us napkins? I think you had to go get them. The lady didn't bring them to us.
Yeah, no, I had to get them.
And everybody was cranky, but we managed to make it work, and everybody had a great day then. The next day, on Tuesday, what did we do on Tuesday? We went to the zoo. So we had KT join us. She didn't make it to the aquarium with us because I don't remember why. But anyways, Tuesday.
I had a doctor's appointment.
That's what it was. So Tuesday we went to the Atlanta Zoo and the kids had fun there. I think no, Wesley wasn't there. No,
Wesley wasn't there. We would hold up his picture and take pictures of that picture with him and birds.
Yes. So his memory was still there.
He loves birds.
But Tuesday was also a special day because in October my niece turned 9, and so Katie and I took her to Claire's and we got her ears pierced for the first time. So that was pretty exciting. You know, doing auntie stuff, just making a little girl happy. So she had a blast with that. She looked super cute. Got little pearl earrings put in. Brian, how are her ears? How are her ears healing up?
They're good. Yeah, she's good.
There's nothing.
Everything's great.
She literally like didn't flinch at all. She just
She took it like a champ.
I know. So she was a little bit nervous at first, but yeah, she looked awesome after getting them.
And props to the lady at Claire's. We didn't know that you had to make an appointment.
Yeah.
And so she was just like, okay, hurry.
Yeah, she was like, I have another appointment in 15 minutes, so let's just do this real quick.
Let's do this.
Yeah, she got it done like super quick. The gun, ka-chick, boom, and it looks awesome.
Ka-chicka.
Ella did not cry. She was so just, ear to ear, or no, is it called ear to ear?
Yeah, ear to ear.
Ear to ear, and not from head to toe. That really matters.
I don't even know what that is.
What?
I don't know.
No. Anyways, all right. And the last thing that we did for Thanksgiving, other than stuff our gullets with turkey and then pass out on the couch afterwards, was we took our mom to North Carolina. It was called Bryson City.
Yes.
Bryson City, and there they have the Polar Express train ride. Not a ride. It is a ride, but not like a amusement park. It's like an actual train that's going through the mountains, and you get to see the scenery, and we got the hot chocolate, and our lovely mother cried because of reasons, and it was just a very touching moment for all of her family to be there. So she was with her 3 kids and her grandbabies and her daughter and son-in-law, so it was a really nice, lovely time.
My favorite part of that was I got our mom a blanket because I thought she would be really cold and I thought she would like it. And
the way it just kept opening. It was such a large blanket in such a small area that like Wesley kept covering her up with this thing, and it was
first they were sitting next to each other, and Wesley is a very large man. He is 6'4", and he's not a small person, if you catch my drift. And so he's sitting next to my mom, and he was trying to help her get this blanket open, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and they were just fumbling with it.
She was so like tiny sitting next to him. She looked like a child, and then this enormous blanket just being like piled up on top of her.
It was like a parachute, and then he was trying to tuck her in like like an obacha, and she was just she finally just gave in and just
I think she had a great time. Yeah. So that was our Thanksgiving. We'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. So tell us what you guys did for Thanksgiving. We had a whole week off of school because Katie and I are on elementary school time, so we did not work at all. So did you guys work during Thanksgiving? What did you eat? What are some of your traditions and customs? Leave us down below, and that will also enter you into the giveaway if you comment down below. So,
giveaway.
All right, now moving into the chunk zone. All right.
Cow.
So Brian is leading us into this one today. Brian, what is our chunk zone for today?
Okay, so everybody has movies. There are movies that everybody can agree on are awesome, good. Critics love them. Audiences love them. It's just stuff that everybody's like, oh yeah, I'll watch that any day of the week, anytime, because it's good. Well, there are a few movies, though, that are more divisive than anything. Movies that critics say, this movie stinks, or even movies that most the general audiences will be like, whoa, this is a bad movie, insert joke here. So pretty much what we're talking about is movies that we love that everybody else seems to hate, movies that we're going to defend with our very lives because these movies mean something to us, or we just find them very entertaining. And what we're also going to do is we're going to give the Rotten Tomato score for each of these films to see just how bad they really are. So does anyone want to go first?
I think you should.
Oh, okay, fine. Well, I'm going to go first then. My first pick is going to be Batman Forever with a rotten... Oh, yeah. With the Rotten Tomatoes score of 38%.
Goodness.
That's how fresh that movie is. Listen, a lot of people were like, when Tim Burton stopped making his Batman movies, there was Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, and then the Christian Bale era, the Christopher Nolan era that saved everything. But I still love Batman Forever. I thought Val Kilmer was great. It was probably like one of the first Batman movies I was allowed to watch. I wasn't allowed to watch the original Burton ones because those are really dark and violent. But the Batman Forever one does have a little bit more lightheartedness, and it's got Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, Nicole Kidman, just a great cast all around. It's a great Chris O'Donnell as Robin. And it was the toys too. This movie was like Toy City. I had a lot of Batman Forever toys, so this movie really meant a lot to me. So even though it's definitely not it's no Dark Knight, it's not even a Justice League Batman, but to me it's still a solid movie, and I enjoy it.
That's
I
good.
concur.
Oh yeah, and that soundtrack. Okay, Seal, Kiss by a Rose. Song of the 90s, bro.
That's a great song.
How do you not fall in love with that song?
My
Pleasure, my pain,
baby.
Oh my.
All right, Katie, why don't you go next?
I'll go next, and I'm gonna keep up with the superhero theme, and I'm going to be shooting myself in the foot. I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. Frankly, I don't care. Tell me about it in the comments and be entered in our contest. How about that?
Of how
Catch me
wrong
outside.
she
How about
is.
that? Yes, how wrong I am. And I'm going to say X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Really?
Yes. Is it canon to the original material? No. And you can say the same about X-Men Apocalypse. Did I like X-Men Apocalypse? Heck no, I did not like X-Men Apocalypse. With every fiber of my being do I hate that. But for X-Men Origins Wolverine, I think it did a lot of things great and few things really terrible. The great things are literally when the whole fighting sequence at the very beginning. In fact, the very beginning of the film, when you have James, little boy Logan. His name isn't Logan, it's James. Goes by Jimmy. He's got a lot of names. He's got his bone claws then, and it takes place like Civil War times, and he kills people. And he doesn't mean to, but now he's running away, and he's with his half brother, and who's going to be Sabretooth, and they're just running away, and it shows them going through time, and going through these wars: the Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War. It's got a cool sequences. The sequence when Logan actually becomes Wolverine is awesome. It is just so good. The action sequences in this film are awesome. Downsides, there is no Deadpool. I will not say that is Deadpool because he's not. But there's a lot of bad things, there's a lot of good things, but Rotten Tomatoes gave X-Men Origins Wolverine a whopping 37%.
Ooh.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't realize it was
37.
that bad.
Oh,
Wow.
it is very panned. And if you don't want to go to like fan pages, like of comic book Wolverine, because they tear this movie apart. In which, sure, you have every right to do so. What I see it as is an alternate universe of comic book. Isn't that the comic book way? Is it? Isn't it? All right, Ileana, what you got?
Alrighty, my first movie, and this may be a little bit confusing, just because of its Rotten Tomatoes score, and you're gonna be like, wait, people love that movie, but people love to hate this movie, is what I actually believe, and that is Avatar 2009 by James Cameron.
No, you're right. That movie gets a lot of a lot of crap thrown at it.
Much hate.
Wait,
what?
I can't even process what you just
Are you
said.
one of the haters?
What did you just say? Like,
Not Avatar the Last Airbender, not Last Airbender at all.
No,
James
the Blue
Cameron.
People Avatar, James Cameron's Avatar.
Okay.
Yeah, don't get it mistaken with Ong and Sokka and Kotaru. Not that abomination. No, I would not say I love that movie. Absolutely not.
We're tracking now.
It is the Blue People, 2009, James Cameron. Its Rotten Tomatoes score actually has an 81, and I think that was mostly probably when it first came out because it was
the critics liked it. The critics liked the CGI, the visuals.
It was awesome.
Everything. Yeah, that's what they liked about it.
It really hadn't been seen before in such like a large scale like that. I feel like where it's completely CGI, there's not a whole lot of practical effects going on. So it was just new and bright and amazing. And the storytelling, I feel like, was good. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this film and could sit down today and watch this film while it's pretty lengthy, actually. I have a great time watching this film. I love the character. While he's a little bit of a jerk, you understand, he's got some issues. Sigourney Weaver's in it. How can you not love a movie with Sigourney Weaver?
Excuse me?
Yeah, and then you have gigantic blue alien people floating around on what look like pterodactyls in space, or not space, in like these amazing landscapes that are floating rocks, and then with this like tribe people, and then the weird tail touch thing, and also like going back of like reality, but they're both reality, so it's confusing of just being like sucked into this body. I don't know, the whole concept of it, and maybe I'm just like spitting words out, but I really do enjoy the whole concept of the movie, and visually it is beautiful to look at. They even went as far as to take the concept and make a whole Disney world section of it because it was so amazing to look at. So, and that ride is horrifying, by the way. If you've ever been on Flight of Passage, not doing that one again. Jason, you know what you did to me. So, Jason is our cousin, and he took my mom and I on that ride. He was like, "Oh, it's no big deal. It's nothing bad." That thing was like a roller coaster to us both. I screamed the whole time. But the world was so beautiful and amazing, and the storytelling is, of colonization, basically. And I guess, I don't even know where the hate is coming from towards this movie. Do you guys know? Because I don't, honestly.
Because people think that the story is not original. They think it's a ripoff of Dances with Wolves and Fern Gully, Last Samurai.
What?
And they're like, well, it's just a ripoff movie. It's not original. And James Cameron's a hack. And it's a hippie movie, too. And, love trees. And I just... people just miss the point, I think.
I just hear constantly, "Oh, you like Avatar movie?" or "Oh, Avatar sucks," and no one really explains why. And if those are the explanations, man, go hug a tree, okay? You're the one who's being a baby. So, mine is Avatar 2009. Brian, what you got?
Okay, the next one is one that's very close and dear to my heart. I love these two characters. I love everything they've ever done. Their TV show has, been a big part of my life, inspired me to be who I am today. Their movie, while it came out in 2000, I think it's great, okay? And I'm not gonna be ashamed about that. Rocky and Bullwinkle, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, the movie with Robert De Niro as fearless leader, Jason Alexander as Boris Badenov, Rene Russo as Natasha Fatale. I love that movie. It's great. Yes, it has extremely corny jokes, but because that's the whole point of Rocky and Bullwinkle. It's supposed to be just like, take your palm and smack it upside your head. That's the whole point.
Such a fun movie.
That's the delight of that movie, and people are like, "Oh my god, this is Robert De Niro just sinking low, getting a paycheck."
We watched that movie all the time growing up, and it was so funny.
Look, in the animation, the CGI of Rocky and Bullwinkle, it's good. It's not bad, okay? Every part of that film is enjoyable. It's not a bad movie.
It's also 2000.
Critics hated it. They said it was just another garbage kids movie just to take your kids to. No, there's a lot of love for the two characters, Rocky and Bullwinkle, who've been around since the 50s, okay? I adore the dynamic of the characters. Even in putting Rocky and Bullwinkle into a modern times and modern pop culture, Keenan and Kel make an appearance for some random reason. But it's still a great movie. Don't hate on my Rocky and Bullwinkle. Oh, and yeah, Rocky and Bullwinkle, it was a 43% rotten.
43?
43%.
Wow. That's too
my final
bad.
pick though is gonna blow everybody out the water. So all right, it's Katie's turn.
You're gonna hate my next pick, Brian, because you've told me before that you hate this movie. I really like it. I'm not gonna say I really like it. If it's on, I'll watch it, and it is I can't even say it.
Oh gosh, what is it?
Oh man.
It is Enough with Jennifer Lopez.
What? Oh my gosh, it is bad. The movie is
There you go.
complete
Oh no.
garbage.
Yeah, there it is.
It is the bane of my existence. It is the worst movie I've ever seen in my
Oh,
entire
no.
life.
You haven't
Katie.
seen these with us then. Okay,
Katie,
so
no, it's not.
Didn't you?
No.
Hey, wait a second. Did you ever see Catwoman with Halle Berry? Because
No,
that one's
I've never
pretty bad.
seen
Hear
that,
him.
but this
That
is
one's
bad.
that one's up there
Oh my
with worst
god.
movies ever made.
Alright, so- this is a movie, if you don't know, it's a movie that definitely would come on Lifetime. Not Hallmark, Lifetime, where it's one of those women empowerment movies in
Where
which
Jennifer
with
Love
this-
Hewitt is the star of every film.
Oh god, yeah, over on Lifetime. No, this is a different Jennifer. This is Jenny from the Block. All right, and I don't know, and I don't want, if this is your first time on Bump That, please don't think that I'm some sort of psycho feminist or anything, because I think that's what it sounds like in this episode. But no, I don't know.
Yeah,
Once
Cara
again,
Dune,
I'm just
and now this
I'm
one.
exactly. I think it just boils down
Well,
to
see, now people are gonna think that I'm like a misogynist, that I don't like women empowerment. That's not what I'm saying. This
No.
movie is to me personally, this movie is the antithesis of woman empowerment. It is the complete opposite of woman
Okay, so
empowerment.
I
I mean,
think-
I could argue this movie, but
Let
go
me-
ahead. Go ahead.
Let me explain. I accept and admit that this movie is bad and the message is bad. There's not a lot going for this movie. It's got a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, yikes.
I think
Whoa!
22.
Dang! Wow!
22. And I think the only thing that makes me really like it, if it's on, I'll watch it, is that you feel bad for her. You feel bad for Jennifer, her character. You feel bad for her. Jennifer Lopez's character, where she's in a marriage and she's got a son, but her husband is just not treating her.
It's not even a son; it's a daughter.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's a daughter. Sorry, it's been a while since I've seen it. They've got a kid, and so the husband becomes abusive towards her, and it turns out that her dad is in the mafia, so he trains her to defend herself, and she's like, you know what, enough is enough. But then it gets a little off the rails towards the end, because instead of because he keeps following her or something, she keeps trying to get away, and he keeps following her and torturing them. And so she's like, enough, literally enough. Instead of, nobody's helping her, and instead of letting him torture her and the child, she beats him up, and spoilers, she kills him. I think he falls off a railing, but she basically beats him up into, so I think it's just that thing where it's like, enough. And I don't know, I just like chicks beating up, on people, I guess.
Goodness.
When it gets to the point where it's like, all right, you've pushed me to the edge, like I just can't take it anymore, like, all right, it's time for a pummeling, like, you ready, because we're doing this. So I don't know. I acknowledge this is not a good movie. It is bad. Bad message, bad everything. And yet, will I sit down and watch it? Yeah, all right. Okay. Let's watch J-Lo beat up on some people.
Oh,
'Cause why not?
gosh.
Yes. Ileana. Go
All
on.
right. My next movie is not one that I find myself watching a lot, but like you said, if it's on TV, I will sit down and I will enjoy this film. And it is Paul Blart Mall Cop
Oh,
from
man.
2009 as well, starring Kevin James. People hate this movie because Kevin James is a bumbling oaf. It's a funny movie. It's a sit-down, goofy movie, and why not? You're just looking at this goofy guy, and you feel bad for him, just like you feel bad for the J-Lo character and the one you talked about in Enough. Like, he's just being, crapped on by everybody in this mall, and you're like, oh, I just want something good to happen to him. He's a single father. He's trying to run this mall. He's being that cop. And everybody's like, get away from me, bozo,
He's really, literally just trying to be so wholesome. And he's getting pooped on.
And the guy that comes to work under him, and he's like, oh, I'm going to teach this newbie the ropes, and we're going to do it the right way with the rule book. And I'm like, that is so me. I am Paul Blart Mall Cop. Could that be the episode title? I am that stickler. I will follow the rules, so I understand Paul Blart, and he's like really trying to teach this new guy, the ropes. And then it turns out he's trying to rob the place, and it's like, great. Now now they're in a stick-up.
Great.
So poor Paul Blart is starting to look at this girl who worked at one of the little mall kiosks, and she's a cutie, but she's being holed up by this guy and his daughter, and it's like, all right, Paul Blart, what you gonna do? And he's listening to I guess the other cop outside telling Paul Blart what to do within the mall, and he's like, oh no, but we're gonna do it my way. And it's just, it is a fun, enjoyable movie. As much as I would not like to admit that I like and enjoy that movie, you have to admit that you like the movie. It is fun. With a lovely Rotten Tomato score of 34%.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow, dang.
Paul Blart Mall Cop. All right, Brian, what's your last one?
Okay, this movie is a very little seen movie. I think, I don't know if Katie saw it, but I know definitely our mother and father took us to see this film when it came out in theaters back in good old 1994. This movie has a Rotten Tomato score of, drumroll please, 14%.
Oh my gosh.
14%. The critics hated this. It's called one of the worst movies of all time. Roger Ebert, like one of my favorite movie minds. He has a famous quote about this movie himself. He said, quote, "I hated this movie. Hated, 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 hated,
Oh,
hated
gosh.
this movie. Hated it. Hated every simpering, stupid, vacant, audience insulting moment of it. Hated the sensibility that thought anyone would like it. Hated the implied insult to the audience by its belief that anyone would be entertained by it." Well, Mr. Ebert, rest in peace. I actually really enjoyed this movie, and it's North.
Oh,
North?
with my boy Elijah Wood.
Yes.
Yeah,
Back
yeah,
before he was saving the world and destroying rings, Elijah Wood was in a movie called North, where he was a kid who realized that he was not loved by his parents and decided to divorce them and become emancipated and to look for new parents. So North, played by Elijah Wood, goes on a journey around the world to find new parents. Along the way, he meets. I'm gonna show you the cast of this movie. Let me see, the cast of North. And it's got huge actors in it. The cast of North. I should have had it up. The cast of North. Dan Aykroyd, Kathy Bates, Bruce Willis,
Oh.
Jason Alexander, John Ritter. Let's see the cast. Who else is in?
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, Scarlett. It was her very first movie she ever did.
Reba
Alan
McEntire.
Alan Arkin, Reba McEntire, John Lovitz, Abe Vigoda, Ben Stein, Kelly McGillis, Juicy Smollier. It was in this movie. So a solid cast of big time actors were in this movie, but it's one of the worst movies of all time. I remember watching it and thought, this movie's really good. I like this movie. At one time, all kids are like, my parents stink. You gotta grow up at least thinking, man, my parents suck. If I could only get away with them, find better parents, my life would be better. That's a good concept. Maybe the execution didn't work for adults, but for me watching this movie, I really enjoyed it. To grow up and realize that it is one of the most hated, worthless movies of all time, and that Roger Ebert said the word hate like over a dozen times in his
Ugh.
review. Okay, that he walked out of the theater watching this
Ooh.
film.
It did not age well. I will say that it does not age well.
This movie doesn't even have a cult following. A lot of
Yikes.
bad movies like Howard the Duck, that has a cult following. Movies like that. But nobody. I mean, you guys. I said North. You guys looked at me like, what?
I
But
was thinking Norm of the North, which I'm glad it wasn't
Yeah,
that.
it took it. That was my first thought too, and then I thought, oh, North. Okay.
North with Elijah Wood. So that's my movie. I like it. I will watch it again right now. I would show it to my kids, but that's me. I'm gonna stick with that one.
Do you have a runner-up?
The Godfather Part 3. Everybody hates that movie, but I love that movie. All right? Even if you just take out Sofia Coppola, whose acting is horrible in that film, the rest of the movie is outstanding, and it belongs up there with Godfather 1 and Godfather 2.
All right. So, my last pick, it is an off-the-wall one. This is a movie I have very fond, strange memories of this movie because it is a very strange film in itself, made by legends in comedy. What is it that received a 1%
Ooh.
rating?
Whoa.
A dismal 1% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It is The Master of Disguise.
Wow.
It is so bad. And yet, let's take a look at
It
the
is
cast.
bad. That movie
It's bad.
It got a 1%.
It is
It's
bad.
gotta
It's
be.
1%. But let's take a look at this cast, shall we? Written and acted by Dana Carvey, Jennifer Esposito, Harold Gould, James freaking Brolin. Come on. Maria Canals Barrera.
Brent Spiner
Yes.
is the
Kenan
main bad guy in
Thompson.
there.
Yeah. So you've got some heavy hitter names in this. Was it a good film? No. Did I find it stinking hilarious? Absolutely.
Yikes.
And you know, it is also quotable. You hear even kids now, they don't even know where it comes from. They're like, turtle, turtle. That's still a thing. It's still a thing. And
It's so
yes,
thing.
and it's so stupid. It is so stupid. And yet, when you turn on this movie, you're like, oh my gosh, why am I laughing? This is so, you know, same with Rocky and Bullwinkle. It's the same kind of like slapstick humor. Where you're just like, you know, it's almost a groaner, but it's like you can't help but be charmed by it, by its stupidity.
Oh man,
His name is freaking Pistachio. His name is Pistachio, guys.
Oh my
It's-
gosh, man. Oh,
and yet, I
jeez.
can't help it. Like, you know, I've got very funny, stupid memories of this movie.
There's I mean, Dana Carvey, he does all these different impersonations. Like he does a Tony Montana, you know, and he's like,
Yeah.
he's like got the hair and the chest open, and he's just doing Tony Montana. Well, you know, and it's like, he does Quint from Jaws, and it's just bad.
Yes.
But the worst though is Brent Spiner, who plays the bad guy in the movie, Data from Star Trek. He has this problem where he just farts randomly. And it's just like,
Yeah.
but it's not funny. It's not, because it's just like a random fart that doesn't even, there's no setup. He's just like, he'll just be doing like a villain talk and then just fart.
I don't
and then
know.
you're-
I think it's funny.
and it's-
I think it's
then you're
funny,
just like,
man.
Where's the
supposed to
payoff?
laugh?
And it's just, it's not,
I think-
it's so
I
bad.
think it's in his face because it catches him off guard. And he's just like,
No! Why did
But,
you react?
okay, do you
Why'd
remember-
you act that out?
do, do you remember when it came out? Everybody was saying, "This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do." Did you just tell me to shut up? Yes.
Oh, is
Like,
that where that's from?
Yes,
I
exactly.
remember
There-
that.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
man.
that
Oh,
is from The Master of
jeez.
Disguise. So there are some notable things to come out from this movie.
Whoa.
So to discredit it is, you know, come on. So yes, I don't think it's deserving of 1%. I think it could maybe
1%.
go a little bit higher. Literally
Ugh.
1%. My runner-up or whatever, honorable mention, is The Matrix Revolutions. That only got a whopping.
Oh no, yeah, that movie is so underrated. It
What
is
was
a
its score?
great movie.
35% on Rotten
Oh.
Are you serious? That's
Yeah.
a Travis. That movie is an excellent film. It's
Yeah.
really
So
good movie.
I'm not even gonna go into detail on that. But yeah, I really like that movie.
So, I'm the last one, and apparently my taste in movies is just too good because the lowest score for mine was Paul Blart Mall Cop with a 34%. So, I guess mine aren't too hated, but I mean, people still don't like these films. So I've got my last one and my runner-up, and I'm gonna choose my last one as Cars 2006.
What?
The thing is that it has a nice score. It has a 74 as a score, but people hate this movie. They hate
No,
Lightning
who
McQueen.
hates Cars?
They do. People that like the same type of people that you talk to that hate Avatar. They hate Cars, the first Pixar
man.
Cars movie. They're
I
like,
f-
I hate the character.
I don't
He's
know anybody like that.
what is that called? Oh my gosh, that word. just escaped.
Self-indulgent.
Sure, arrogant. He's arrogant. You know.
But that's his character flaw.
But people
And then
hate that. They hate that he starts
He
out
changes. He becomes kind.
Like that. They
at
don't
the end
care.
Of the
They're
film.
still like,
That's-
oh, this movie is blah. And I
Well,
love
if
that movie. That is such
If
a
you
fun
had said
movie.
Cars 2, that's the
No.
one I hear everybody hates.
No,
Yeah.
that one.
The
just-
critics hated it. audiences
exist.
hated it. But
Ariana did not. She loved it.
I don't know anybody that said, "Oh, I hate Cars."
No, people hate the Cars franchise, and it starts with the first one. They do not like Cars, and it's like, why? These are great films.
You?
Not the second one.
You
The
don't
third one's
like
great, though,
Cars
too.
at all? Period.
Me?
Who?
Katie?
No,
You.
I'm pointing to my car. I'm literally pointing to my car.
Oh, I thought you were like
in the
putting your
back.
hand up, like, yeah, that's
No.
me. I hate Cars.
No,
Like,
I like Cars. I hate Mater. He is the
And that's the
one
other thing.
thing.
People cannot stand him, and they say he ruins the movie. I don't think so. In the first, I don't think so. That was Incredibles right there. But I really don't think that he ruins the film, at least in the first movie or the third one. The second one, he is just an absolute abomination. I never want to watch that film ever again. It was literally that bad. But Cars 1, people are like, oh, Mater's annoying and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, y'all people. Y'all just don't understand.
He is annoying because there is a thing. There's a trope in cinema that I detest. I hate
We
it.
talked about this with Soul last year.
I don't know. It's the character that deliberately drags down. It is literally written for the sole purpose of dragging down the main character and getting in the way. And I hate that. I hate that. If there was any kind of legitimate reason why that character unintentionally brings down that main character, that's something different. You know, that is, I don't know. It's different from a character literally written to destroy a person's life and just be
And
annoying.
I don't think he's in Cars 2. I would say he is definitely written to destroy Lightning McQueen's life, just there to screw everything up with the racing in wherever they were, Italy or something like that. See, I don't even. The movie is so awful, I don't even care. I remember what the synopsis is. But in the first movie, he's just, some bum guy in Radiator Springs. That's literally just all he knows. So it makes sense for him to be, a bumbling idiot. That is just, where he's grown up in country life, not around other people. So that I completely understand. And now he's got this guy, and it's oh my gosh, Larry the Cable Guy as his actor. So, I mean, the movie knew what they were doing when they started casting him. However, it fits the role. They're in Radiator Springs, and then here comes in this hotshot from California or wherever they were. It makes sense just to put these two characters together and that they'd clash. But they became friends, so it works out, and it's just a lovely movie.
But then I also don't, and I don't want to be too long-winded, but I do not like the trope also where they magically become best friends. Like,
They didn't magically.
why?
They went out to
Yes,
the cow
they
field
did.
and started cow tipping together.
And so now they're best friends because they were tipping cows?
Yes, they bonded.
That doesn't make any
They bonded over
sense
this
at
thing.
all.
That's how you become friends.
No,
you
well,
bond
that
over
led to
something.
Cars
a
2.
little
That
help
literally
from
led
my
to Cars 2.
friends. Whoa, whoa.
Anyways.
Oh, a little help from my friends.
My honorable mention is Sing.
Who doesn't like Sing?
Katie.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
Katie!
You have
How
definitely told me before
dare
don't like
you?
Sing. Definitely have told me
No.
before. You were like,
Oh,
Sing,
you,
boo.
sir, are the abomination
I don't
plaguing on
remember
our
saying that.
interests.
It has a 63% on Rotten Tomato.
I don't
think
remember
that's
ever
That means
saying
it's.
that.
Doesn't that mean it's fresh? That it's good?
I don't
It's
know.
right.
Yeah, I think that means it's okay. I think as long as it's over 50,
No,
it's
people are
not
just
bad.
look at it as another Illumination Studios film. They're like, another.
What are you talking?
crap.
Sing is good. It's getting a sequel.
But people don't want to watch it either. And while it was
People
a
are
good
getting
film,
that movie
they
made a
think
ton
they
of
think
money.
The animation was cheap. That it looked like every other Illumination film.
I
and
don't
that they make
think
cheap
the
films.
movie's not about the animation. It's about the characters and the singing.
And they
That's
hated
what that
it,
movie's
too.
about.
You know what you're probably
Nah.
thinking that I don't like is The Secret Life of Pets. I do not like The Secret Life
I'm
of
on your
Pets.
side with that one. Secret Life of Pets
Okay,
is
yeah,
bad.
I could see that.
But no thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
But
like
yeah, that was my honorable mention. So, do you
I
guys?
almost said. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, do you guys agree or disagree with our choices?
I almost picked The Good Dinosaur.
Do you know what its score
but
was on Rotten Tomato?
it was a little higher, which is why I didn't pick it. I think it was in the 80s or 70s or
okay.
80s, which is why I didn't pick it. But people dunk on that movie a lot too.
See, I couldn't find films that like. I tried to go into Rotten Tomatoes' worst scored films. I hadn't seen a single one of them, so I was like, well, this is not gonna help me.
Your taste is just that good.
I just like good movies, okay? Just like good movies. And I wish I could say that I put Catwoman with Halle Berry in it, but I can't. I just can't. That movie is really awful.
Wait a minute. So you like that movie,
No,
or
I say I wish
Okay.
I could, so I could have it on my list. I wish I liked it,
Oh.
but I don't.
no? Be honest. I mean, if that's the whole point. Is like I honestly,
She
I
got
mean,
a-
you know what?
she
Like
got a
Batman and
Razzie.
Robin.
Is it
Batman and
Razzie?
Robin is she did get a Razzie for that.
Yeah.
I'm like yeah, Batman and Robin isn't a good movie, but I'll sit and watch it. I will. Every
Agreed.
George Clooney moment of it, it's just
Mm-hmm.
I just every Arnold Schwarzenegger frozen cold freezing punch. Yeah, I'll watch it cuz it's just you just shut your mind off and just go for it, I don't know. It's just some movies are like that where you're just like what do you
Just turn your mind off and embrace it. Just
Cats 2019.
oh, no.
Did
No,
you
I've
see
never
it
seen
though?
that. I've
I
never
watched
seen
it on a plane flight for about 34 minutes and had to turn it off. It was that bad.
Whoa.
I was stuck on a plane for no, I was coming back from Japan. I was stuck on a plane for 13 hours and had to turn Cats off. It was that horrible.
Wow.
I
Oh,
could
man.
have, I was like, okay,
I
I'll
can't
give it a
even
chance.
imagine.
I'm in a plane. There's nothing else to do. I couldn't sit through Cats. So bad. James Corden. That was the other guy. The other white guy. James
Oh,
Corden.
jeez, Louise. There he is. There he is.
Why's he
Oh
gotta be a
my.
white guy?
And that wraps up yet another episode of Bump That. Bump That episode 47. We hope that you guys liked this episode. If you guys agreed or disagreed with any of our movie choices, please let us know down in the comments below. That'll also enter you into our giveaway that we'll be announcing after December 11th. So go and comment on any episode from episode 41 to episode 48. Leave a comment. You'll be entered in to win. And we'll be signing off. We've got Brian in this corner.
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
We've got KT in this corner.
Baby, if I can get into your kiss from
And I'm Ileana, and we're signing off on Bump That. See you all in next week's episode. Bye-bye.
Now that your rose is in bloom, and light hits the gloom on the grave.